East Championships probably the last time. Hey, it was good luck last time. All right, Coach. When Coach Donato, whenever you're ready, if you want to give an opening statement here for everyone, appreciate it. Thank you.
Well, I would just like to say that we're excited to be here. So far, it's been a great experience. Chicago's just a tremendous city, and the United Center is such a great venue for the tournament, and we're excited about being at the Final Four.
All right, thanks, Coach. We'll take some questions for the student athletes now. When you get the mic, just make sure to say your first and last name and affiliation, if you could, please. Any questions for the students? Right here in the front.
Melissa Pirelli, U.S. College Hockey Online. Alexander, and anyone else can jump in after if you want. Anything different that you guys are doing now compared to a regular game to calm your nerves? It's a big stage.
No, I think that we're trying to treat it like any other game. Obviously, it's really exciting to be here, the Final Four. This was our goal all year long, and especially being us three being seniors, it's pretty exciting just to end our college careers here. But I mean, I think that if we get too caught up in everything else, we won't be as focused on our game, and obviously we still have a lot of work to do, and so we're just trying to treat this like any other weekend.
Sean or Luke, anything to add to that?
I'd like to add that we've played in really big games this year with the Bean Pod and ECAC tournament and stuff like that. So I think that we could use our experiences there and know that we have to come out playing our game hard right away, and it's just something we've incorporated all year. So I wouldn't treat it as any other. I would treat it as like any other game.
Thank you. Anyone else? Right here in front.
Jake Kumar with the Harvard Crimson. For any of you guys, first time stepping on the United Center, just what was practice like today?
I mean, it's really nice to get out there the day before a game and get a feel for the rink. It's super exciting, just seeing how big it is. I mean, we've played in a couple NHL buildings, the MSG, and then obviously the Garden back home. So we kind of got a sense for that in those games, but there's something about this rink. I know it holds more people, but you can actually tell looking at it that it seems a little bigger. So it was fun to get out there and be in front of all that and just kind of soak it in, because once tomorrow starts, it's a little more of a business-like, so you don't quite get a sense of it all.
Anything else for our students? Nothing else? All right, thank you. You guys can head back with Brock. Appreciate it. Take questions for Coach Donato, please. Jamie?
Ted, Jim Conley from U.S. College Hockey Online. It's been a number of years since you've been involved in a Frozen Four. How much has the whole spectacle of the event changed, and how have you kind of worked with the kids to kind of manage that this week?
Well, I think it certainly has changed over the years. You know, the coverage, you know, everything from, you know, television to print to online. You know, there are a lot of things in the world that have changed. It's been quite a while, but I think the guys mentioned it. I think we're really trying to enjoy it, but at the same time, really kind of remove the noise and really try to focus on the task at hand. You know, a lot of people have asked me about, you know, comparing the 1989 team I was on and this team, and the only thing I've mentioned really to the guys was that I think that team came with a purpose and with a confidence that we could go, you know, we could go to the Final Four and win, and I think that's really been our mindset. Obviously, there's great hockey teams left, and we respect that. But I think we want to really focus on our game. You know, in this, you know, one and done scenario, you really can't afford to chase the game or not be at your best. And you know, we want to dictate the tempo and really get to our game as quick as possible.
Take one here to the right.
Matt Mullins of the News Tribune. Ted, a lot is made of your team's scoring ability, but you guys have been pretty sound defensively as well. What's been the strength of your team, you feel, defensively, and how much of that has fueled what you guys are able to do scoring-wise?
Yeah, I think we're up to maybe third in the country now in goals against, and I think it's something that the group takes great pride in. Obviously, our goaltender is a big key to that, our defense. But, you know, I think we really want to use our speed to be quick, you know, quick to defend, quick to break the puck out, and really play to a tempo that, you know, we're comfortable at and can play at. Obviously, at this time of year, you look at it, these teams are all great defensively. You know, you look at Hunter Misker has been sensational in net. So, you know, at this time of year, you expect to, you know, have to play in tight games. And while it's great that offensively, you know, we've had a productive season, we know that we have to be prepared to win a 1-0 hockey game if that's what comes at us. So I think we're capable of playing some good defense as well.
Bob?
Yeah, Ted, I know you've been asked this question 100 times, but now at this stage, maybe the Johnsons in the 70s, the Clearys in the 80s, now the Donatos, now the father and son, you know, kind of what's been special about it getting to this particular point and how you've handled some of the challenges that come with that?
Well, I don't think I've, quite honestly, spent a lot of time thinking about it. It's really been kind of team-focused. You know, I am very, you know, happy for Ryan and proud of the way he's playing. You know, I'm also very proud of the way our team, most importantly, is playing. But, you know, I think it might be maybe something, you know, at the end of the season, you know, whenever the sun might come out here, you know, you might sit back and really appreciate, you know, what a great life experience it's been for both of us to be able to, you know, be part of, you know, a great season to this point. So, but, you know, at this point, you know, I really haven't thought much about it or put it all in perspective. You know, I just, I think right now we're just in the moment and worrying about how the team performs.
Jeff, over here to the left.
Jeff Cox with SB Nation. Does Minnesota Duluth remind you of any team that you've faced in the ECAC or maybe in your other, you know, non-conference games?
Well, I think they're a very impressive team. I think they're extremely well coached. You know, I think they have great balance. You know, when you think of such a storied college hockey program, and you think that with all the great players and great teams they've had, and to think that this is the team with the least amount of losses, it's really quite impressive. Winning the NCHC tournament championship, you know, this is a team we have a lot of respect for. As far as comparing them to the ECAC, you know, I'm not sure there's one team, but I think they have elements, positive elements from a few teams. I think they, they have some size and strength and defensive prowess, kind of like Cornell at times, and and certainly up front, I think they have some playmakers and they have some size and strength as well, and I think their goaltender is playing as well as anybody in the country. So we have to be prepared to really finish our opportunities, because he's pulled a rabbit out of his hat quite a few times here down the stretch.
Right here in front.
You mentioned earlier trying to kind of ignore the noise. These guys mentioned trying to treat this as any other weekend. To play devil's advocate, do you think that's actually possible when you get to a stage like this that's the biggest in college hockey?
Honestly, no, it's not. It's not possible. They're not practicing at the United Center every day or in a great city like Chicago. They understand the opportunity that's in front of them. I think there are certainly different challenges that they might not see at other times in the year, but I think they did mention that they feel like some of the experiences they've had, whether it's playing in the Beanpot, or even at Madison Square Garden, you realize that things come fast and furious in those types of games. So this is it's certainly a different game, and I think you can always try to, in your mind, just say it's another game, but obviously, we haven't been at the Final Four for a long time, so it's not just another game. But I think mentally they're preparing as if it's another big game that they're playing.
Right here, Bob.
Yeah, Ted, the old adage about trying to keep your seniors, or try to get you guys to become seniors and stay the 4 years. You and Scott both have a fairly predominantly loaded senior team. Do you think this speaks heavily to keeping these kids in school and what it means to try to get to this particular stage and trying to fulfill two things, get the education and the hockey championships?
Well, I think first and foremost, I think the student athletes really have to enjoy the whole experience. Both being a student and an athlete, and put a lot of value on the education that they're receiving. I think both coaches would tell you that that there's a lot of development that goes on, and certainly the longer you have players, you see just vast improvement and maturity, and it's been a real important part of our team to have guys that have experience, that realize the magnitude of the one and done scenario, and and I think they've been able to keep us focused and really understand how important each and every moment is in their senior year.
We'll take these last two here. And just a reminder, the locker room's open till 2 if anyone needs a student athletes. Right here at the back.
Chris Lurch, U.S. College Hockey Online. Adam Fox has been able to score at every level from the blue line, but were you surprised at how quickly he adapted to the college games, needing to step right in?
Yeah, I think we certainly had very high hopes and expectations. However, with the current status of college hockey with older kids, it's becoming more and more of a challenge for these real dynamic 18-year-olds to make an impact. But I think the truly elite guys find a way to do it, and I think Adam is so clever, and his hockey IQ is so incredible that he's not relying just on the physical tools he has. So he's been a tremendous shot in the arm for our defensive core, and offensively he makes others around him better. But I think we would all have to admit that we're a little bit surprised at how successful he's been right away. Averaging a point a game and playing in the World Championships, and he's had a tremendous year, and we're really happy for him.
Take this one last one here.
Since this is the last question, I'm going to cheat the system and give you a two-parter.
It's Harvard, guys.
Obviously Bill Cleary is around the Bright all the time, and he has been for quite a while. Have you had a chance to talk to him a little bit down the stretch here as this has become closer to a reality of a championship? And then dovetailing off that, you talked last week about a potential speech in the locker room. You're getting some videos together of what you might want to say to the guys before a game like this. Anything from Cleary maybe that you're thinking about that you would put into that speech?
Well, I think really the message is probably pretty similar. And, you know, I have had a chance to talk with him after the ECAC championship, and I think a lot of the way he carried himself around the team is certainly what I would hope to emulate. You know, real positive guy, upbeat. You know, his players not only worked hard and, you know, and improved, but had a lot of fun. And if you're around Coach Cleary, you realize that there's not a lot of things that he takes too serious, you know, other than being a great student athlete. And so I think, you know, the one thing that, you know, that keeps coming to my mind is just his ability to really fill our team with confidence that, you know, we could be successful, and that you know, that our style of play, you know, was, you know, that it was about us, not about who we were playing. And I think that's a powerful message that we've tried to talk about all season with our team.
All right, thanks, Coach. Denver is up next at 2:45. Appreciate it.
Thanks, guys.